Hi, it's Faculous here. And tonight I thought we would maybe go through some of the stuff that we always talk about with our students is what you should try to be paying attention to when you're dealing with horses. There's a lot of things that you can do even if you don't know anything about horses simply by paying attention. And I know we've talked about it before, but I feel like maybe tonight we should go through some of those things and I'm going to show you what I look for when I'm walking through my barn. So let's do that tonight. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm looking to see. You know, when you're looking down the barn right now, you can see all the horses are sticking their heads out and they're all looking. It's almost supper time, so that explains a lot of this. But I'm still going to look a little closer than that. One of the things I do when I come and start looking at individual horses, I'm going to start paying attention to whether or not he's had a drink of water, whether his feed bucket is empty. If he's left some hay behind, I'm not going to be too worried about that because some horses will really clean up their hay and some won't. So, you know, if I see a little bit of hay in this horse's stall, I'm not going to worry too much. If I see hay in her stall, I would have more concerns because she's like a little Hoover vacuum cleaner. So the next thing I've looked at, if I recognize that he's had a drink, he's cleaned up all his food, I'm going to look in his stall and make sure that he's got a normal amount of droppings. And if he's a pretty tidy horse, and I see that his bed is really disturbed, that's going to be a bit of a warning sign as well. So again, it's noticing what's normal for your horse. So like for him, he's pretty tidy. So if I see that his bedding is all disrupted and stuff like that, I'm going to know that he hasn't been feeling well at some point tonight. So I'm looking for a regular amount of droppings. I also want to look at the way he's standing in the stall. So if a horse is resting a hind leg, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a relaxed sort of stance from a horse. But if you see a horse and he's resting his front leg, then you know you've got a problem. So if the horse is standing all straight this way, that's fine. But if you see him with his front leg forward and not weight bearing on his front leg, that's always a concern. It's not a concern in the back leg. Another thing I'm going to look at when I'm looking at the horses is, are their ears moving around? Are they listening? Are they looking? These guys are. They're actually probably saying, why are you standing here with a camera when you should be giving us our hay for supper? But that's okay. The other thing we want to make sure is that their eyes are clear and that there's no discharge coming from their nostrils. And this is all stuff you can do without even touching the horse. You can just visually observe them. One of the things is because a horse doesn't have a vocal response to pain, you also want to look to see if they're uncomfortable in some way. And one of the ways to tell, it's kind of subtle, but the nostrils will sort of wrinkle up a little bit. And a horse at rest only breathes 8 to 12 times a minute, so if you saw that wrinkling combined with rapid breathing, you'd know the horse was getting into trouble. He obviously is not. One of the things too, at this time of the night when I'm coming out to feed the horses, if I found a horse lying down, that would be cause for concern as well. Now there's certain times during the day, we've had horses over the years that are very relaxed in their stalls and they'll actually lie down, and in the morning signs you'll come in and you can give them breakfast in bed, so to speak. And I've got other horses that never ever ever let you even see them lying down. So again, that's recognizing what's normal with your horse. But if at this time of the night when I'm coming out to feed and everybody's a little anxious to get their supper, if I found a horse lying down in a stall, that would be a real red flag for me. So there's 5 things that you're going to look at when you come into the barn if you want to check on the horses. And the first thing is that the horse looks alert and he's paying attention to his surroundings. The next thing is that he's had a drink of water and that his feed bin is empty. Okay, the third thing would be that his stall isn't too messed up, that he's got droppings in his stall, but he also hasn't kind of destroyed his bedding and really moved things around a lot. The fourth thing would be that he doesn't have any discharge coming out of his nose or out of his eyes, that he looks healthy and clear that way. Number 5 is that the horse is standing either on all 4 legs, or it's okay if he's resting a hind leg, but if he's resting a front leg, like not weight bearing on his front leg, that's always a red flag as well. So that's our broad overview of what to look for when you first come into the barn, and next time we'll go a little bit deeper into individual horses and how to look and recognize signs of good health. You're ruining my pictures.